Personal opinion here. I was there watching the first couple seasons, and I think when I started showing disinterest in SpongeBob was around 2004. Basically when the movie came out. I always thought to myself, that Star Wars Imperial Captain Morgan joined the dark side, we have rum vintage shirt. The older episodes during middle school and hell even high school and beyond. Whenever I see an episode post 2004, basically when the production of the show got cleaner images, I always tuned out. We have reached an age of technology where I can talk to you wherever in the world. You are from wherever in the world I am with this thing that fits in my pocket. So much of the world's history and knowledge can be accessed with a couple of buttons. Presses, and we still can't figure out how to be nice to each other. I like that. I'd never thought of it before. A particle of dust hitting your ship at 1,000 times the speed of light. Star Wars Imperial Captain Morgan joined the dark side, we have rum vintage shirt. Tank top, V-neck. Ladies' tee for men and women. Tank top, V-neck. Of course it's always a plot contrivance, but the in-universe reason for why the deflectors can do so much stuff is that Star Trek deflectors are basically super advanced laser arrays. And Star Wars Imperial Captain Morgan joined the dark side, we have rum vintage shirt. When Gene Roddenberry was developing the original series, he was in talks with other sci-fi writers and scientists on what sort of things a super advanced ship would need. And one of the more practical elements of the ship that was discussed was a way for it to basically zap or repel any space dust that might slam into it at superluminal speeds. Which is the thing that would keep the dust away, tied to fancy future computers that can detect and calculate defenses against dangerous space debris almost instantly. Since it is basically a glorified particle emitter strapped to extremely advanced sensors and force fields. Among other things, it can theoretically be retooled to emit other sorts of beams and whatnot than it usually could. Official Star Wars Imperial Captain Morgan joined the dark side, we have rum vintage sweatshirt. Hoodie. Sweatshirt. Hoodie. Sure. But most jobs the complexity can be explained and understood. I'm not a doctor, but I can roughly see the difficulty of a doctor or surgeon. They could talk about their day and I would understand what they did. It's not that Star Wars Imperial Captain Morgan joined the dark side, we have rum vintage shirt. Most of the time you can't even respond to, what did you do today? Quote. However, when I ask lawyers or engineers, they seem to be able to put most of it in layman's terms easier. Maybe because they have to do that more often? Even though their work is often much more complicated than what I do. I find myself struggling. Other products.